At the far edge of a quiet green valley stood an ancient tree, tall and twisted from age, yet standing firm against every season. In its highest branch lived a small sparrow named Lyra, fragile, brown-feathered, and unseen by most. Every morning, she sang softly while building her nest, twig by twig, for her 3 delicate eggs. The forest around her was peaceful, a chorus of rustling leaves, a river humming nearby, and the distant laughter of parrots. But one afternoon, peace vanished. Dark clouds gathered like armies across the horizon. The air grew heavy. The forest stilled. Then thunder struck, a deafening roar that split the silence in half. Wind howled through the trees, shaking branches like angry hands. Lyra's nest swayed dangerously. Rain poured in torrents, soaking her feathers. She spread her wings over her eggs, trembling but determined. Lightning flashed, illuminating the forest in brief white terror. A huge branch above her cracked, then fell. Her nest shattered. Lyra cried out as her eggs tumbled down the bark into the mud. She dove after them, wings battered by wind. One rolled too far. Another cracked against a stone. Only one survived, trembling in the storm's fury. She huddled over it, whispering softly, "I'm here. I won't let go." High above, the crow Corin watched from a broken branch. "Foolish bird," he shouted through the wind. "You can't fight the storm." Lyra ignored him. She dug her claws into the mud, using leaves and broken twigs to build a tiny shelter around the egg. Her feathers clung to her body, soaked and heavy. Hours passed. The rain didn't stop. Thunder rolled again and again, but she didn't move. When dawn finally broke, the forest looked destroyed. Branches scattered, nests gone, silence thick. But beneath a fragile mound of leaves, Lyra's egg lay safe. She collapsed beside it, trembling with exhaustion, but her eyes gleamed with quiet triumph. She had done it, and somewhere far above the clouds, the sun returned, spilling its first light upon her battered wings. The storm had passed, but its memory still clung to the forest like a shadow. Broken branches hung from trees. The river carried pieces of old nests down its brown current. And above it all, the sun tried to shine, weak but determined. On a low branch of the great tree, Lyra stirred. Her feathers were heavy, her wings stiff, but her heart beat strong. When she looked beneath her, she gasped. One of her eggs, the last one, was still there, unbroken. A faint smile curved her tired beak. "You held on," she whispered. She gathered scattered twigs, forming a nest again on a sturdier branch. Her claws trembled, but she built, working until her breath came shallow and the light dimmed. By nightfall, she curled around her single egg. The storm's wind had stopped. All that remained was the whisper of trees and the soft hum of insects. She closed her eyes, finally at peace. Then came a sound, small, fragile, but full of life. Crack, crack. Lyra lifted her head. The egg shook gently beneath her wing, tiny fractures glowing against the moonlight. Another crack, and then a soft, high-pitched chirp broke the silence. Her heart leapt. The shell split open, and a pink, trembling hatchling peeked out. Its body was fragile, its eyes barely open. Lyra pressed her head close, tears shining in her eyes. "Welcome to the world, my little wren." Days passed. Lyra hunted tirelessly for seeds and worms, feeding her chick beak by beak. The forest slowly revived. Grass grew green again, rivers ran clear, and sunlight returned through the leaves. But whispers returned, too. From the next branch came the twin magpies, their feathers glossy and cruel. "There she is," one snickered. "The mother who fought a storm just to save one," said the other. "She'll lose him, too. Some birds never learn." On the far side of the river, Kingfisher, gleaming in blue and orange, watched and chuckled. She builds where storms live. Some hearts don't know when to stop breaking. High above Corin, the black crow perched quietly. "A storm may have spared her," he said, "but life rarely does." Lyra didn't reply. She simply worked. Every morning, she carried food back to Wren. Every evening, she sang softly to him, songs about light after rain, warmth after darkness, flight after fear. Wren grew fast. His feathers thickened, soft brown with pale tips, his wings learning to stretch. His eyes, bright and curious, followed everything his mother did. Then one bright morning, he tried. He flapped his wings once, twice, wobbling dangerously close to the edge. Careful! Lyra gasped, rushing forward. He fell forward, then landed back in the nest. He chirped proudly. Lyra laughed softly. Every great flight begins with a stumble. But far away, thunder whispered again. Lyra froze. Her feathers stiffened. She turned toward the horizon. Clouds, gray, wide, and rolling, were gathering. The forest grew uneasy. The magpies cried out, "Another storm," and flew off. Even the proud kingfisher took shelter under the rocks by the river. Lyra looked at Wren, trembling beside her. Her voice was calm but firm. "Not this time. We've learned." She began reinforcing the nest. Stronger twigs, fresh leaves, thick roots intertwined around it. Every mistake from the first storm she fixed. Patiently, silently. The wind rose. Leaves flew in spirals. Lightning flared again. But this time, Lyra's nest did not break. She held Wren close, wings wide, heart steady. The storm screamed, and she whispered to the roar, "We are stronger than yesterday." Above, Corin watched again. But this time, he didn't mock her. He spread his wings against the rain and called down, "You fight like fire, little one." By dawn, the forest shimmered under 1,000 drops of silver light. The great tree still stood tall, and on its highest branch, a sparrow and her chick rested safe. Wren stretched his wings, blinking at the new sunlight. Lyra smiled, exhaustion soft on her face. "You see, my child," she whispered, "storms don't come to destroy. They come to teach us how strong we can be." Wren chirped once, and for the first time, his wings caught a gentle breeze. He hovered for a heartbeat before landing again, excitement lighting his tiny face. The forest watched in silence. Even the crow bowed his head slightly, whispering to the wind. Perhaps even small wings can teach the sky something new. The sun climbed higher. A new peace filled the forest. Time passed. The storms were gone, and the valley was alive again. The great tree stood taller, its branches full of new nests, all born from one small bird's courage. High above, Wren soared to the morning light, wings sharp and strong. Below, his mother, Lyra, watched with soft golden eyes. Her feathers had grayed, but her spirit still shone. "Mother," Wren chirped, landing beside her, "come fly with me." Lyra smiled. "The sky doesn't ask if we're ready, my son, only if we're brave enough to rise." That night, beneath the moon, she sang her final song, a lullaby so soft that even the leaves stilled to listen. It wasn't a goodbye. It was gratitude. When dawn broke, Lyra lay under the first beam of sunlight, wings open toward the sky. Peaceful, free, Wren stood beside her silently, then leapt. His wings caught the wind, soaring higher than ever before, the golden light reflecting in his eyes. Every beat of his wings carried her song. Every gust of wind whispered her name. And when storms rolled through the valley again, the birds didn't fear them anymore. They looked up listening, because they could still hear her voice inside the thunder. The sky remembered, because love that brave never disappears. Courage never dies. It just learns to fly higher. Even the smallest wings can leave the biggest echoes in the sky.